Hello, you all. It's me, Aries the ruler, back with another video. I gotta be dramatic because I really gotta start. I'm not being dramatic, I'm just being me, but I gotta start being me more because what I'm about to get into is literally all about us, ourselves, me included. Today we're gonna be talking about the house systems in astrology. This is a topic I started writing honestly, I think over the summer, like July. And I literally wrote, I'm gonna be reading off my notes, but I wrote all this stuff and was like talking points and everything. And I, for the last 4 months, have talked myself out of doing this. So I'm here in the flesh right now to talk about the house system with y'all. So I feel like me, for example, before I get into it, and not to talk too much about this, I'm the perfect teacher for this because I have Aries in the ninth house. And the ninth house is the house of so real quick, what a house is, I guess, when we get to I have Aries in the ninth house. Being that I have Aries in the ninth house, like I find passion, because Aries is passionate sign, the most passionate sign, I would say, maybe next to Leo. Yeah. Maybe Scorpio. I would say I find passion in learning, teaching, traveling, studying, just the world, the broad world outside of like my interpersonal world, more so like things that are going on outside in the world and things like that. So I feel like I'm the perfect teacher to kind of teach this because I've been teaching my whole life. Like I worked at a radio station where I taught people how to get into the station for 2 years. I work with children. I'm an ABA therapist right now. I was a summer camp counselor for 3 years. Like I do this when it comes to teaching now. Like, and I'm always in a leadership position. So yeah, it's what it is. With Aries, first sign of the zodiac, cardinal fire, dog. With me, with me. But nah, so basically, let's get into it. I'm not gonna go too much into tangent. Y'all know how I get. And I'm gonna try to make some bullet points, but like that's kind of hard. So I'm gonna try to like figure out how to get that because my YouTube I kind of just upload it and go, which I might just still do. So what is the house system? Basically, the house system in a nutshell is like signifiers of like specific times or like experiences in one's life. So like there are, let me see, they symbolize how we function, interact with others, work in the material world, things like that, etc. So there's 12 houses basically, and each house has its own like function, or kind of just like this is what this house is known for, or this is what this house is for. So like, for example, the first house is obviously the first house you would imagine probably has something to do with you. The first house is where everybody's rising sign or ascendant sign is. So wherever, yeah. So my bad, I got something in my eye. Oh my gosh. So yeah, for example, like the first house is just our rising, how we present ourselves to the world. Literally, it's just what people see in us. I'm a Leo rising, obviously, if I have Aries in the ninth house. I'm a Leo rising, so I present myself like king of the jungle. Like I like to be seen, whether I want to personally, and I still have struggles admitting I want to be seen. The fact of the matter is I'm a Leo rising. I can't help but want to be seen, and I can't help but be seen. That's why I got this big lion's mane, because like I feel like all Leo risings, or most that I know, have locks. Like my friend Jess is the one I linked the video to. We got locks. Like Leo rising. Shout out Leo rising. Yeah, like I said, there's 12 houses, and each house has its own ruler slash like lord. So for example, like, I mean, I don't mean lord as in like God or anything like that. Just the term lord in general, as in like a overarching like planet as a terms of astrology. So for example, like if you have a first house, or the first house is ruled by Mars. It's funny because I have a Leo Mars. I'm a Leo rising and I have Mars and Leo. So it's like, it just goes hand in hand. And I probably am like so arrogant, or people just think I'm whatever. And I'm like, no, it just feels natural to feel like I'm that shit. Oop, I froze up. My bad, I had to cut it out. See, I be talking too fast, so sometimes I don't be making no type of sense. Anyway, though, like I was saying, Mars is, for example, the ruler of the first house. So, I guess I have a Leo Mars, so it's just, you know, whatever. But I will say this though, the houses go also, since there's 12 houses and 12 zodiacs, the first house is ruled by Aries, the last house is ruled by Pisces, and it just goes in order: Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, back to Pisces. And each house, it's funny because like all the lords or rulers of those houses usually like what you feel. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like with my birth chart, for example, I have all my fire signs in the fire houses, not in the exact houses. Like I have Aries in the first house. Oh, I have Aries in the ninth house, but Aries rules the first, and then I have Leo in the first house, but Leo rules the fifth. I have Sag in the ninth house, in the fifth house. In Sag. I have Leo in the first. I have Sag in the fifth house. And it rules the ninth house of travel and stuff like that, which we'll get into it. And I just feel, like I said, I feel like while there aren't any ideal placements in the houses or anything like that, I feel like it is kind of ideal or like low key like an advantage if you personally feel like that to have the elements line up also within the houses. It's probably even better if you have them with the same like lords or whatever. So yeah, my bad. Yeah, so the 12 houses, they represent the full cycle of life and just the experiences you're gonna have in this lifetime. So let me not use like Leo or Aries. I have a Gemini in the 11th house. The 11th house is one of the themes of the 11th house is just like human interactions, friendships, things like that. I have Gemini in the 11th house, so like my entire life I'm just going to be networking, meeting people. Like every time somebody meets me, they're like, wow, you're so cool, I feel like I know you before. And I'm like, yeah, I feel like I know y'all too, like type, like I don't feel like there's a single person on this earth I don't get along with. Not saying I'm friends with everybody, but like I could walk up to any stranger and have a conversation, even if it is what it is. Like it's just the Gemini in the 11th house, and Gemini is ruled by Mercury, so like blah, 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 give a gab. And I got that Aries Mercury, so like give a gab all day. But yeah, like I said, the houses just represent like the themes you're gonna experience in this lifetime. So everybody loves the fifth house and the seventh house. The fifth house is like sex, relationships. I think, is it children? I think maybe like children. I know the seventh house for sure is the one everybody loves. That's like the marriage house. Or they say your spouse, usually like your spouse is in the seventh house. I have Aquarius seventh house, and I will say Aquarius women, y'all are y'all fickly, but anyway, but yeah, your specific natal chart has its own order. The way your houses are ordered or will be found in your natal chart. So basically the way that works is the exact moment that you come out the womb. So the time that you were born is going to dictate where everything falls out of your chart. So I'm not gonna say what time I was born, but the time that I was born at made me a Leo rising. So like, for example, oh look, all this chopping I'm gonna have to do. Anyway, because I have Leo in the first house, how I said before, like Aries rules the first house, and then it goes from Aries to Pisces. Well, since I have Leo in the first house, my 12th house is going to be Cancer. So it's going to be, I'm not going to go through all the houses, but Leo first house, Virgo second house, Libra third, in that order, so on and so forth, till you get to the 12th house. And like I said, a natal chart, you can literally go online. You can search. I personally follow the Vedic astrology, so like I'll just hit Vedic natal chart, and then it'll have like websites. I can post some links if you follow sidereal. If you follow tropical astrology, like Western astrology, which nothing against Western. I do still look at stuff like that, but I felt like I resonate more with the Vedic. You can also just search that too. Neither one I'm gonna say is right or wrong, because what is right, what's wrong. I feel like everything in this world, we're meant to interpret how we interpret. So anyway, so like I said, you start with the first house, which is known as the ascendant, your rising sign, and you just move in a clockwise rotation for the last time. And I mean, the house system really is like, it's just used as a guide towards like self-growth, discovery, and kind of ultimately strengthening like our connection with the universe. So like, I know before I kind of got into astrology and all these things, I kind of noticed like I did notice that like it were like specific like during specific times in my life, like throughout like my 26 years of existence. Well, before like I started learning about this, I would say like 20 years, maybe 24 years. I would notice every couple years like things repeating in the same like forms of whatever happening, like thinking, oh, this is finally like, and it's like no, like that's just like not where all the energy, where the collective energy or whatever is at right now. So like this house might not be like the spotlight in your natal chart because you're not in your fifth house year, you're in your seventh house year, or like you're not in your seventh house year, you're in your first house year or whatever. So like yeah, each house can also be referred to as like baba. Um it's like an Indian term. And they're divided into four like babas, or like quadrants in a way. So like the four quadrants that the houses are divided up into are the dharma, which is just like duty, the artha, which is like resources, kama, which is like desires, and moksha, which is like our liberation. And it is just like hilarious when you think about it, because the dharma houses are basically the first house, the fifth house, and the ninth house. And I was saying before, the dharma houses are the fire houses. So like Mars, like literally think of a fire sign, think of like a soldier or whatever, like duty. The artha houses 2, 6, and 10. Well, no, my bad. The dharma houses also we are the ones that need to find one's path and purpose more so. Those are what those houses kind of represent. So think of the first house is your self-discovery. Oh my God, it's me. The fifth house is like your introduction to kind of people outside of your family, because the first four planets are like your interpersonal. Well, the first six are interpersonal, but I feel like once you really get into that fifth house year, or just that fifth house, that's when you kind of start having your romantic relationship, more platonic relationships, or whatever, Like I said, children, marriage, relationships, all are residing like in the fifth house. And the next one I was saying is Artha, which is the 10th, well, the 6th. How I go backwards, man. Slow down. Aries, Mercury, slow down. The next one is the Arma houses, Artha houses. 2, 6, and 10. Those houses kind of focus on the need to acquire like proper resources. So like I have a Virgo in the second house, which is also where my North Node is. So like I feel like in this lifetime, or in the sixth house, I have Capricorn. So like literally I have the hard work, like all the earth placements basically are 2, 6, and 10. And it's all about like grounding yourself in this material world kind of, and taking advantage of like what you're learning in every house that ain't 2, 6, and 10 basically. So yeah, the next house, oh my bad. So it's like I was saying before, 2, 6, and 10 are the Artha houses, and they're basically focusing on the need to acquire proper resources and abilities to take care of yourself and fulfill your path and purpose. Like I said, I have North Node in the second house. So literally your North Node is your purpose in this lifetime. My purpose is to be more Virgoian, if that's a word. I just made it up. That's what I do anyway. But yeah, so then the Kama houses, which are 3, 7, 11, those are the air houses. Yeah, air. They are the ones that need for like desire and enjoyment. So when you think of the air signs, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, those are the coolest folks. Like Libras are so chill. They be fake, but like they be so chill. Then you got Aquarius, who's out of this world, out of their mind. And then you got Gemini, who just like, you're here and you're here. You're here, you're here, you're here, and you're here. But like I said, it's the Kama houses represent one's need for like desire, enjoyment. So wherever you have anything in those houses, those are the areas like you specifically need to focus on like enjoying yourself and just like seeking out your desires. So like I said, because I have a Gemini in the 11th house, I'm naturally going to just like attract people and just gravitate towards different groups of people. Like I've never had like, and not saying that that's like something that like well, I mean, I have friends, like I have friends for life, but like I have had so many different collective friend groups throughout the years, and like I still maintain most of those friendships, but like I meet so many people. I feel like every couple years it's like a new group or whatever. But like that is one of my joys in life, is just discovering new people. Like I love seeing people and being like, I know you from a past life, or I know you from somewhere, you know. So, and then you have the final quadrant, which is the moksha houses, 4, 8, and 12, ruled by the water signs, and they basically go over, or they basically are highlighting our need for liberation and enlightenment. So yeah, basically, yeah. I'm like, what do I have in the fourth house? I have Scorpio in the fourth house. Huh? Like I said, I have a Pisces. I think I said it earlier. I might not have, or I might have edited it out. But I have Pisces in the eighth house. So Pisces, and it's my south node too. So like how it's saying our need for liberation and enlightenment. I'm somebody that likes to escape from this world via however I'm gonna do it. Just because I have that Pisces. Pisces is like the fantasy sign, and it's also the south node. So in a past life, or in maybe my last past life, I was a Pisces, which would make sense because I'm an Aries this lifetime, so it's like a reset. But yeah, I have Pisces in the eighth house, so like I'm always like trying to liberate myself and just like retransform, and always like trying to grow, and just I experienced so many changes, bro. Like, you know. So the moksha houses, 4, 8, and 12. I can go over those all one more time. I know I'm all over the place right now, but like, hey, I didn't even want to do this. So the fact that we're doing this, I'm like, let's keep going. Not that I didn't want to do it, but like I was being too lazy. So you have the Dharma houses, ruled by the fire signs, 1, 5, and 9. They go over the need for one's purpose and path. You have the Artha houses, which are ruled by the earth signs, 2, 6, and 10. Those just kind of go over the need to acquire like your proper resources for life. You have the art and your abilities to take care of oneself and fulfill path and purpose. I can't read my own handwriting. You have the Kama houses, 3, 7, 11, ruled by the air signs, and they just go over one's need for desire and enjoyment. Why did music stop? And then you have Moksha, which is 4, 8, and 12, the water signs. And those just rule like our need for liberation and enlightenment. So again, the purpose of these 4 like aims of life are kind of meant to showcase like just our progression throughout our experience as a human being. They're represented by like, and like I said, they're represented 3 times in each house. So like I said, the Dharma houses have 1, 5, and 9. So kind of like every 4 years, you're going to experience similar things, how I would describe it, but like in slightly different forms. And it's like a progression through each thing. So how I think about it is the 4th house, oh no. The first 4 houses are the interpersonal planets. It has to do with you and your interactions with family, and just kind of like your start into this world, or like the beginning of like whatever journey you're on. Then you have houses 5 through 8, which are kind of like the progression towards venturing out in the world. Like I said, 5th house, 5th and 7th house, relationships or whatever. 6th house has to do with work, career, things like that. So you're always like in the world, whatever, meeting people. In 8th house, transformation, death, just a bunch of different things. Like I'm gonna get into those as we break down the individual houses by videos when we get to that. And then you have 9 through 12, which I feel like I'm personally gonna say they're like the subconscious houses, or like what did I write down? Shows the universalization of the self. Yeah, I feel like that's like once you've gotten through the first 8 houses, it's kind of like that back into the subconscious. So now it's like, all right, like what can I do to make sure these other houses are kind of like, at least how I interpreted it, these other houses are being properly like lived in, basically. Like it's a house, you live in it, make sure you're tending to that house and living in it and things like that. But if that wasn't clear, I did write down the first round, which is houses 1 through 4, shows the process within an individual. Second round, 5 through 8, which shows the alchemy between relationships and things like that. And then you have the third round, 9 through 12, which shows the universalization of the self. And yeah, I think that's all I had. Like I said, I wrote this and I took these notes in what is word drawing I did. Love, 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 love. But I did this back in July. It's December now. Not even November anymore. It's December. Yeah, December 2nd, 3rd. Technically, it's midnight. Anyway, if you've stuck along this far or if you learned anything, I really appreciate the fact that I was able to teach you something today. I really do appreciate all my subscribers, all the people that have been following me since I've started this YouTube channel, the people that understand and respect my spiritual journey, and respect their own spiritual journeys as well. And yeah, give me some comments, some feedback. Like, don't be shy. Like, I don't delete comments unless it's a troll spam. Give me some feedback. Like, talk about your own experiences. Ask me more questions. Like, I know a lot more than like I'm written right now. I'm not gonna lie, I still am a little camera shy, even though I'm a Leo rising, which is crazy. We working on that. I don't feel like I really got to work on the confidence with my Leo. Like your first house, let me see, 1, then you experienced it again at 12, then you experienced it again at 23. Yeah, around 23 is when I really started getting confident. So like, that makes sense. So yeah, like I said, if you made it this far, I really appreciate you. Take care, and y'all will see me again very soon.